Hey, my name's Brad, and this is my before and after story. The two words I picked for this were failure and persevere. I'll just start back now. My family tried going to church when they were younger, elementary school, but us kids would complain way too much and would cause way too many issues, and so we just kind of gave up on it. My parents got divorced, but they were really, like when I was 2, but they were really loving towards us. And that was good, but they had a lot of issues with each other. This caused a lot of conflict growing up, and I saw myself as a victim. I'm constantly putting myself in the middle, trying to help this guy get on with it. When mom and dad get a agreement on something, him and Jake just figure something out. And as a result of that, there's constant conflict, and I feel a lot. I was constantly trying to be the one who was in the middle, and it just didn't work. And I created a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, and a lot of resentment towards what was going on. And the biggest issue was I couldn't fix that. And that was just a good time. What I tried to do at that point was just try to escape. And I tried to do this for years. Reading, play video games, go to the internet, have to grow up with friends, hang out with friends, alcohol, relationships with girls, just anything that would help me forget or feel better. But at the end of the day, nothing was left. I hated having time to think about it all. I hated having time to myself just to kind of go over what was going on because then I just saw the failure was that. So I got to college, and even that didn't fit me. Like I was out of the environment, but all the anger was still there, and things weren't improving too much. At the end of my sophomore year, I had a breakup. That was really kind of common because I saw again like I failed in this relationship and did a lot of things there, and it was really frustrating. Eventually, once I was home over winter break, I had a friend. He had an issue with one of his family members dying. He got kicked out of his house as a result. And being the fixer, I went over there, and I just finally saw God using me, all the things I went through to kind of, help this guy out. And it actually showed me I just couldn't fix anyone. Like I couldn't do it. There were some things just so far out of my power that I couldn't do it anymore. And at that point, I just lost it. For the first time, I prayed and went to God and decided like I can't do it anymore. And we prayed and everything. God ended up saving his husband, and that was just awesome to see God working that way. I wish I said I could, I just trusted God at this point, but it took a lot of time. But God never stopped pursuing me and following me, and that was good. I learned more and more about him, and eventually I decided that I'd accept Jesus, but didn't know exactly what that meant or what I was getting out of that. So as time was going on, like I accepted Jesus, and things were getting better, but I wasn't actually trusting him, and I still wanted to be the one leading my life and fixing all my problems and really doing whatever I can, but I couldn't fix the anger or the frustration or the resentment I had. But God just continued calling me and pursuing me and showing me that I could trust him with these different parts of my life, and it made such a difference. One example, like my brother and my mom not talking. I always got really resentful that like people have these super happy families and here's mine where we can't even get along and have a conversation. And I was constantly trying to tell him to do this or mom to do that, and it wasn't working. And I just kept getting down on myself and just like that showed me that Jesus died for my sins, which is way worse than me going through a family that just doesn't talk right now. And like he still forgave me, so why couldn't I forgive them? And like it was so great to see. Like I couldn't forgive them. I didn't need to hold that resentment and that anger. And like that was the biggest issue was I didn't want to forgive myself. Like for so long I held this resentment towards people and acted out because of it. And God showed me that I had been forgiven. I'm still loved for that, and can go on from that. And that was just huge. That like having a place to go with that anxiety when I was failing and I wasn't able to help, and still being loved because of it was awesome. And just knowing I could trust God for those situations and for my mistakes, and He had a plan for all of it was huge. And that gave me more security than I've ever known. Like even if I wasn't able to help others, God showed me that He could do it so much better than I could imagine. and he had a plan for it. And it's funny because like today I feel more than I ever have, and I feel more secure than I have at any point in my life. It's because God's love, and He was dying for me and giving me that. And that's my before and after. So thanks for listening.